This is unbelievable. I learned something this year. Never had one of these before. Let me see. Oh, it's not root bound. Hold on. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and today we're going to take a zip around the deck. Look at this. Overcast, kind of on the cool side. We're in the 60s, but that's okay. The hummingbirds are doing great. We're not going to do hummingbirds right now. Oh my goodness, hummingbirds, orioles. But what I want to talk about mainly, and I will let you see what's going on the deck, is zucchini. Because some of you have started your squash and some of you have not. And a lot of you have told me for the past few years you can't grow zucchini. I'll tell you why you probably can't, because I even learned some things this year. So let's look and see, oh my goodness, how the deck has bursted into a paradise of food. My goodness, I want lettuce, I come out here and pick lettuce. I want zucchini, I come out here and pick zucchini. Today, we've got a male flower. I just ate a meal out of that, and let me show you the zucchini that I picked also, and I'll get into some of that here. Yesterday, and I like leaving it outside because it seems like they last longer outside than when you put them in the house. Sometimes they'll go, and I don't want to freeze it. I want it fresh. All right, on zucchini today, I'm going to step away for a minute, show you what was going on so you'll understand, just like I learned, on certain things we can and cannot do with zucchini. And the biggest tip is don't ever go and try to grow one zucchini plant. You won't get zucchini. Not because you have to cross-pollinate with, let's say, another plant, no. But because you may not be getting the male and the female flowers at exactly the right time. So let's step in right now, and then I'll show you all the peppers and everything else that's growing here, and I am nowhere near done. I have spread myself so thin, I've been everywhere. But let's go in. I want to talk about the zucchini because I want you to be successful when you're growing squash. Get some ideas from that, and then we'll come back outside, look around here, and I think this will help you, especially if you're buying or growing some of your own zucchini seeds. So in the dog kennel, I had a male flower, and this was a female. Unfortunately, it opened yesterday. I really got in there, and I put the pollen in there, but see, it's usually too late. It's got to be done the same day. Though, if it doesn't look like it's going to grow in the next day or two, I can take that little fruit off and put it in our scrambled eggs or our eggs. I've got a female there and a female there. Right now I'm getting a lot of female squash on this one, but the one in the dog kennel is throwing males. They just have to throw it at the same day. But we'll see what happens. It's not a big loss. This is really early for zucchini. So these are the two I just pulled off. I don't know why it's throwing twins, but sometimes if a plant thinks it's dying, oh, see all the pollen in there? You see how dusty it is? That is so perfect. They'll really double up on their flowers thinking that they've got to produce. But once it takes hold, the other one, it should work. We're going to get this in here. Put that one down there. Probably only need one, but you can't really save it. I've tried. It doesn't really work well, but this is going to be great. Now, whatever you do, you don't want to break the flower. You break the female flower, that's goodbye. I'm going to leave this on here because it might attract bees. And I could get a brush, but I think we're going to have enough to do this with. Now you have to do it the very same day that it flowers. You cannot wait the next day. Like that was the next day. It probably won't take. So this one opened this morning or yesterday. I don't know if this pollen is any good, but we're going to use it all. And we're going to do this very gently. Normally you only need one, but I'm going to do it this way. All right, we'll leave that there. I'll get it out later. This does have pollen. Now this one, see, I don't see any pollen. Very, very little around the bottom. Hopefully I got enough. And then the other thing, oh, is there a little bug in there? No. Sometimes I just leave it in there. I have nothing to lose. But this one is the one that's loaded, and you really want it dry. So let's go over a couple little tips on hand pollinating. First of all, if you wait till the next day, it's not usually going to make it. So 95% of the time you will not get a fruit. So all three of these fruits were hand pollinated at different times. This one in the front, I waited till late afternoon. It's not good. It needs to be pollinated really in the morning, let's say before noon, because the flower starts to close. And the pollen also from the male flower may not be right. So as soon as you see they're open in the morning, try to do it as quick as possible. The one in the back, it opened 2 days later. I got pollen on there right away, and it turned into a much bigger zucchini. So the faster you can get the fruit pollinated, the better. That's why it is so important to have more than one zucchini plant. Doesn't matter what variety, just get more than one plant. 3 or 4 would be really good, and more would be ideal. Now I'm going to come back when that other flower opens on that other zucchini, which should only be a day or 2. Let's take a look. I'm ready if it did. Oh my goodness. Look at that. We have another female right here. I don't know if that one took, because remember, we pollinated that one the next day. We did this one yesterday. All we can do is wait. And this one, guess what? Let's look over here, because I see something. Now, I may not have to run through the garden looking. I really should be doing, but I did bring a brush out just in case. It's a very soft brush. The main thing with this is the bristles are soft and fluffy. So what we want to do is get in. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got it. See that? Let's get that over there really quick. I could do it again in a minute if I want. I can see if I have another one. We're going to get right in there. And inside and all over the top. You actually only have hours to do this. So it's not like, oh, I see it in the morning. I'll do it. I'm going to get some more. I'll do it later. It doesn't have to be a zucchini. It could be a yellow squash. Oh, this is great. It will not throw any more pollen than what we see here. There's a lot of pollen. Technically, a bee would come in here, or a little hoverfly, an ant if it was close by, crawl all over it, and then come in here and crawl. Oh my goodness. I could end up with 2 zucchini. And I'm not going to let them get torpedo size. Okay. Now the reason you want a soft brush is you want to make sure it picks it all up good. Hard brushes, it's just they don't pick up a lot. But a really soft makeup brush is perfect. But any brush. I really think that's going to do it. And this one we just wait. Can't do it like I said. Right now it's 7 in the morning. This will be good till about 10 or 11. Once the sun starts to really beat on it, you'll find that the flower will start to close. I believe at that point, even though I have ripped them open and tried, once it closes, this gets too dry, it changes texture, you know, it just won't accept it anymore. It might take it once in a while, but generally it's done by now. Hopefully we got it right where we want it. I bet you we did. Oh, I should have gotten one in here, but I'll get one in here later. Because I want to put one in here. I want to get this out. These are done. But that is really cool. It's going to move the flowers, but they're not in the way. I moved the other pot that was there. Okay. Well, maybe I will get 2 zucchini. The next one, this one's going to be a male. There's no fruit on it, see? And the next one down there's a male. So the next couple opening are just males. And then there's 2 more flowers forming, one there, one there, one there. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. But once it gets these fruit, if they take, they may not form or finish, or they might. We'll see. Cool. Now these zucchini grow incredibly fast. You could have a full-size zucchini to pick a big one in 2 weeks. This has been about a week, a little over a week. Look at that. So the one that we pollinated in the afternoon is very small. The youngest one, that one is huge because we pollinated in the morning, and the other one never took because it got pollinated by me the next day. I am so hoping you found that interesting. So what's going on with my lettuce? I don't see much lettuce. I mean, we can eat this. Oh yeah, but it's bitter. And can you eat it? Of course you can eat it. But I've decided to let all this go to seed. I'm going to let the birds and whatever do their thing. And then, because they like some of the seeds too. This will give me millions of seeds, really. Plus with all the other lettuce. I'm going to let them feed on it, which they absolutely love and they need it for their babies. And then I will go through, crush it, and grow a whole lot more. How much do I need? I don't need that much. But here's the ones that were in the medicine jars. Look at that. Remember how I did those and I took the bottoms off and planted them in this container with a little bit of soil? They did fantastic. I would come out here almost every day, collect a whole bunch and make a salad. Or if we're having tacos or whatever, it was there. A sandwich, let's say I was making. I had lettuce at my fingertips. And I could have fought with it to try to get some more. Look, I never even harvested those. But I decided to let them all go to seed, let them do their thing here. And then I'm going to collect the seed and start the process all over. And why do I have these plastic plants? Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, this has been a lifesaver. I'll show you in a second. Because sometimes plants struggle with the sun, and this gets a lot of sun here when we have sun. But this creates just the perfect shade. And I'll show you over here. So the other day, this squash plant was doing so bad. I thought, uh-oh, something's wrong. Stuck one of the plants, took it out of another one, stuck it here, and look how it's popped up and it's taking off. What was happening, it was getting too much sun for its tender little leaves, because normally something like that, if you think about it, would probably be popping up under another plant until it gets big or bigger like this one. So by putting that there, it's now rejuvenated, it's coming back, and it's growing great. Yes, I still have lettuce here. Remember, we never throw this away. This is gold. You take your leaves, you push them in there, and they're gone. And guess who's eating them? Anybody and everybody under that soil, because I have living soil. So that's what's going on here. No, I haven't harvested a zucchini off of this one yet. And right now I've got a female one that's going to open there and a male. Then this is what I want to show you. Could they pollinate off the same plant? Of course. But this is going to be open tomorrow. This one won't be open for about 3 days. That 3-day span isn't going to work because you have to get them pollinated as soon as they're ready. By waiting, you'll either get a teeny little fruit or you'll get nothing. Here's peppers. Oh my goodness. Don't worry, I got my neighbor taking peppers. Look at this. You know what they're growing in? These cups. Can you see how little room a pepper plant needs? And you know what's interesting? This one that's in with the plastic plant is doing the best. Hold on. We're going to learn something together. So here's a standoffish one. No plastic or silk plants. And here's another one, and it's already got a pepper, and it's leaning up on the plastic plant. And those are in tiny little cups down there. I wonder if they really like it that much where they grow better. I'll have to keep an eye on that. This is where I've been harvesting. And like I said, here's a male flower, but I don't have any females. So this is the thing. We have to be ready to do it right. And in order to do it right, on certain plants, especially squash, we need to have more than one. It doesn't even matter if it's the same type. If you want to get a zucchini, you can cross-pollinate it with a spaghetti squash. But the point is, it needs pollen from a male flower right away. Look at this. This we harvest from all the time. Look at it's just full. Packed and packed. It's sitting in that pot, and it's layered. All kinds of layering here. I've got flowers growing, lettuce going to seed, and everything. This is going to my neighbor. She wanted some little pepper plants. This is the pot marigold. These two are basil, so I'm going to drop that off real soon. I'm just kind of spotting things through here. Look at this. Oh, this pot marigold is yellow. Yeah, I guess they are mixing. Look at that. Yellow? I didn't notice that before. Yellow and orange. You know what? Some of the seeds might be cross-pollinating with different things. That's going to be interesting. More marigolds. I've got geraniums all through here. Here's lettuce. I can harvest from that little lettuce. A kufia for the hummingbirds. Okay, this was an experiment. Can you grow pepper plants in a plastic bag? Yeah, but look how small they are and everything else grows in there with them. Let's see. See that one? You can, then I can, you know what, maybe I'll bring that to my neighbor too. Let her take it out of the bag. That's an idea. I probably won't do bags again. And then let's go here. Now I'm going to be doing a lot of volunteers this year on different plants. I've been doing volunteers as brassicas, and I love my brassicas that are hybridized with one brassica from another. You know, let's say a tree collard that crossed with a kale or crossed with a different collard. It has been working out great. More lettuce. They are bolting, but I'm going to start them from new. I haven't started any yet, but there's another one bolting. Now, this is chia. Do I have any chia that are opening? They're fascinating flowers. Okay, this one's not that big. See how tiny the flowers are? They're no showstopper. That's why you won't find them in the store. Not because you can't grow them. You can grow them. Look, they're all through here. But instead of like a cultivated plant that would just burst into purple flowers all over, this one is natural. It's growing like it should with a teeny little purple flower, and it pokes one out here and one here. Today we got 3. There's going to be a few more open tomorrow. It's like they keep opening when they feel like opening, and you don't get that real big burst of color that a lot of people want. Why, hello. I know why you're doing this. They don't like the Orioles, and they know if I stand out here, do not kid yourself, I've had to stand out here for an hour once. The Orioles won't come down, but the Hummingbirds will. So he knows he's safe because he's right here at hand's length. This is cilantro. I've got a lot of seeds, and I'm going to collect my seeds, and I'm going to grow them because these were grown from seed from the last ones that grew here. And Gary's been harvesting both. He eats the seeds too, I think, and the leaves. Another volunteer tomato with some zinnias back there, celery down here, geraniums. I showed you this, and there's walking onions back here. Yeah, that's the chia seed. Different, the marigolds coming up everywhere. This is just my own seeds now. I grab a flower head, I crush it, and it grows. Chia seeds everywhere, probably from the birds too. This is a little propagated blanket flower, see? Stuck one in there. These are the bowls you get from Dollar Tree. Got a pepper. And I surrounded it with some silk or plastic. These are plastic. They fade a little bit after a while, but who cares? You can always touch them up, get a little brush and put some green paint on it if you want. Oh, there's a, okay, I've got a zinnia back there. But this, you can do a lot of cuttings from, and that's what I'm doing. This was something Gary found in the front yard, some sort of succulent. This I really don't want in here, but it's purslane. I'll probably eat it, and that will be the end of it. These are tight. This is a tree colored. It's probably a purple. It's just not showing that much purple right now. It's root bound, so I got to get that into the garden, and then it will burst into a big plant. You can grow brassicas on a deck, but you'll want to alternate with them. Keep them going because they do get root bound. This looks like potato. And then I've got rosemary growing, more walking onions, all kinds of flowers. This is my angel's perfume. Oh my goodness, I'm finally getting a few more to grow. And this is the spent flower of these geraniums that grow like weeds. Look at that. And then what else is growing here? Again, lettuce. This is just a shoebox. And I've got some flowers in here too. Just different flowers that come up from seeds around here. That could be, I use a little freshening up. Been feeding the birds all over. And I'm trying to pick out what tomatoes, the volunteers that I want. And I'm just sticking them around. The ones that grow really good, like this one, see the thick trunk? That one can go into the garden somewhere. This one too, this one too. I'm walking onion, walking back here. And these I'll see. If they don't thicken up, they're gonna go. I'm not gonna keep a bunch of stuff just doing nothing. Oh, my flowers. Oh, the sun is starting to come in and out. Oh, and I wanted to show you my flowers. Look at this, they're starting to open. They're so small. I don't know if they'll be bigger, but look at that. This is ready to drop anywhere. And then this is just gorgeous. I am so happy with them. Isn't that cool? And I'll show you the seeds really quick on that. Here they are. This is what I grew. This was from Walmart we bought. So that was something really nice to do. And one more thing. Now the sun is going again. I've never grown this plant, and this is a Louisia. And he said that it's a perennial. I'm going to trim all these flowers down. He said he trimmed them all at the nursery and it popped up new flowers. Now, because I checked it and I slid it out and it was not root bound, I went ahead and left it in the pot and I put it here. It's a nice flower to have here with the hummingbird feeders because it's low and it doesn't grow into the hummingbird feeders. So that's about that for now. I've got a work table here now. I love these tables. You get them from Walmart. Gary told me to order another couple. They're so lightweight that anybody can set them up. You have a place to work with your plants or put water fountains or whatever, and then when you don't want them, they fold up and they have adjustable heights. That's what's been all over here. There's one here, one there, a couple there, and I've got some in the garden also, in the bird garden. And then here I'm working with seeds. We'll talk about this another time because this was a project. I wanted to make sure it worked out, and it did. Not for you, but for me. And then this is Gary's borage. Ooh, that's a big one already. He bought the seeds at Walmart, and I planted a few, and all of them grew, and I don't know what he's doing with them. That's his thing. And these are black cobra. I actually separated them. They're slow growers. And these were a whole bunch I didn't have the heart to compost. This is not. It's probably a flower. This is not. But these are. I'm not sure on. Yep, that's one. What am I going to do with that many? I don't know. You can barely use one for a meal. They're so hot. And then I've got the strawberry plants. Now, if you really want to be serious with strawberries, see how they're struggling? They're already root bound. The bigger the container, the more strawberries and the more bigger your strawberries will be. So keep that in mind. So a lot of us buy these small stackable things. That's kind of a novelty thing. You'll get strawberries in the beginning, but as soon as they get root bound, they don't really produce a lot. Another purslane. Oh, it's going to pop the seeds. These things literally pop. They open up, and the seeds go flying, and it looks like pepper. They're really that small. The different kufias I've got here. Here's the pink ones. And then here's the other ones. This is the cigar one. See, it's got a little white on the top. It's supposed to look like a cigar. But that's what's going on here. I really don't have a whole lot to show you. And I'm going to tell you something. This has been crazy between having that water feature there, putting out a bowl of food, which I've been doing off and on, you know that. The water feature and all these plants are bringing in birds, almost as many as the ones that come into the bird garden. It's been unreal. We even had some birds that I haven't seen in the bird garden come here. So it's just been crazy. Perfect place to sit here sometimes and pot up plants. You want to have a place that you're comfortable. And if you're comfortable, then you're going to do more gardening. Oh, we'll look at this really quick. This is nothing. I just moved to here. Some sort of flowers. I can't think of the name offhand. And this is just a cutting. See how they break? When you see a plant break that easy, that means you can propagate it. And boy, do they propagate. That's, again, Hummingbird's lunch. Propagated, lettuce going to seed. I've got to get the sweet potato out. This is one I bought from Aldi over a year ago. I want to get that out and get it into a tote off the deck. I really want those to grow. Sow thistle, garlic chives. This is mushroom plant. This is an angel's perfume. Successfully grew a really nice one off a cutting. They're tough. They don't all take. The other ones do, but they're really a battle. So I'm afraid to move them right now. And then I've got brassicas coming up from something that went to seed on the deck. Pot marigolds. And there it is, stevia. This was from last year. I never planted it. It was sitting somewhere. The whole plant died, and it came from the bottom, from the roots. So now I've got stevia again. This is a pepper I stuck here. Now this is basil. I can move this at any time. That's a basil plant. This is a basil plant, and there's a little one there. We really don't want the other weeds growing in there because we don't want it to take from there. It's just until this is what I bought. You probably remember if you saw that video, I bought a whole bunch of them. I separated them off, and that's what I've been giving them away. This is something. Let's talk about this for a minute. This little trash can, you get these at Walmart. They're 98 cents or something like that. These are fantastic. Put some holes and grow in them. Lettuce is fine. Certain plants don't like the light, so you may have to outline it with cardboard, which I'll show you how I do it because there's a right way to do it. But anyways, just by coming out in the morning, this is one day's work. It's not even work. Come out in the morning with a cup of coffee sometimes if I'm not going into the bird garden, and I just go around and take all the leaves off that the plants don't need. Fill out one of those containers. Now I'm just going to top it with anything. It could be potting mix, it could be soil from another container, and then I can plant in it. And that is what I'm doing here. I'm planting all this in garden waste. Oh my goodness, I don't think I have ever used that term or thought about it before. Garden waste. What the heck is garden waste? Do I have any right now? Because I came out here yesterday. Let's see, what is garden waste? Okay, here's garden waste. Okay, I'm going to pull the whole plant out. Oh, this is garden waste. I'm going to show you what garden waste is. That's garden waste. Here's more garden waste. Leaves. You take your garden waste, you collect it all, anything that came off your plant, you put it in a bucket or whatever you're going to grow in, and then you top it with soil. And then you plant. And you have now saved so much money. This is how we do all our gardens. This is how Gary does his. He uses zero potting mix. He might only use it if he's starting some seeds, but in his garden, nothing. Everything comes from the ground. Digs up something, pot didn't make it, a plant died back for the season. That's the soil he uses, and he puts in garden waste. And this will break down so incredibly fast. Right now it's dry once it's covered with soil. And then you start to water it, because water is life. And you know I've said that so many times. And as long as you put a little water on there and keep it slightly damp, don't let it dry out like a desert, you will start to have the microbes in there breaking all that down and making your own soil. My goodness, it's better than what you can buy in a bag. It's alive. All these plants around here, everything that you can see, the whole hillside, as far as the eyes can see, nobody's watering it, nobody's feeding it. I don't want to put any synthetic type of fertilizer on my plants, because guess what? If it's not flowers that I'm not going to eat, and it's vegetables, I'm going to eat that stuff. I don't even know what they use in there. Oh, yes, we do. But anyways, we don't want to eat that. We want to eat like the birds eat, like nature eats. That bird just spoke up and just told us that. That's right, you tell us. The point is, the birds are eating off the plants. They're eating the plants. They're eating the insects that are on these plants that are growing around here from nature. That's what we want to do. At least we want to try as much as we possibly can. So that's about it. We've gone through all this. This is just another pepper. Oh, we got a big pepper. These are the small bell peppers. This is just a pot marigold. I can move it anytime I want. Again, a plastic plant, because this was a tiny pepper when I put it in here. You know, it was really small, and it's shaded. And then this, oh my gosh, this is funny. This is a mushroom plant that was growing on my windowsill. Gary brought in those little tiny cucumber melons. I mean, literally tiny. And this was last year. He brought it in and said, oh, I have a couple left. And I bit into it, and there was these tiny seeds you could barely see. And I said, are these seeds good? He goes, I don't know. I think they're supposed to be bigger. I mean, they were tiny. So I squirted them into the container where I was growing the mushroom plant on the, my windowsill. All of a sudden, now they're coming out. Is that, look at that little curly thing. They want to grab something. I'll have to put something really there, because it's going to take off. So I brought it out here the other day, and I planted it in the trash can. And I figured I'm not going to put any cardboard or anything in it, because it's tucked in the back. It will be covered by everything else. And that is going to be fantastic. So I don't know. It's just that living soil really makes a difference for a lot of plants. And I really do try, when I'm growing things, to use as much living soil as possible. Okay, I'm going to tell you this again. This is very important, unless it's just me. I planted this in here. I didn't label it. I was going to remember what this is. I'm sure it's a zucchini. I don't know. And now it's growing. It came up. I don't remember. I have no idea what it is. I just hope it's not a fig leaf gourd, because I'll end up with a great big squash plant. This is more basil in a milk container. Look at this. Cut down. You don't even need to go buy containers. Paper cups are absolutely perfect to start plants in. Why? You tear the bottoms, you drop them in the ground, and then they get the water. They don't even know they've been moved. You know, this is stinging nettles, I think. Have to look at that. If it is, I'll pull them all out. But there's so many methods for us to grow things in. And just step back. Look at the containers you're throwing away. Another milk container. Look, I'm going to have 100 lettuce. Don't throw containers away. And even if they're from your soap, if they have a number 5 underneath, because most of them have 5, and you know 1, 2, 4, and 5 is perfect to use. 99% of your soap containers are number 5. Well, number 1 is fine. They just don't last as long. But the point is, you can cut them down and grow in them. Look at this. Now, these I'm going to spot. I already have places for this. As I showed you, peppers don't need a lot of room. They don't get a massive root system like celery. You would not want to put this in with your tomato plant. You don't want to put it in with your squash. You want to find its own pot for this, because this will take out your other plants. It won't purposely kill them, but what it will do is it will draw all the nutrients out and your plant has nothing. So you want to give your celery their own home and then feed it compost tea. Well, we're not going to get into that today. Compost tea, I'm making compost tea in that green bucket here. I haven't even looked in that. Why am I making compost tea? Because it's coming out of this tote. I don't even know. Oh yeah, there's earthworms. This is my lazy way of composting kitchen scraps sometimes. I just pick up that thing, dump them, put the pot on top, and the earthworms come. And then when I water it, I catch the water, and it's a type of compost tea. It's not my everyday compost tea. There's my leftover compost tea down there because I was feeding the squash, and I want to make sure I get more fruit off of this. So many tips and tricks. Even when your plants are running out of, let's say, soil, you can add in soil. You can add it in from the top, and I'll show you later how to do it. But going back to peppers, this is a plant you don't need a big pot. Keep that in mind. The nasturtium came up here, and it's still growing. Mint in that trash can underneath. So keep all this in mind, how important it is for us to grow and how easy it is to grow on the free side. And all we have to do is just save containers, grow in paper cups. You go to a party, they're throwing everything away. I don't go to a lot of parties. But if you do and they're stacking all the cups, the plastic ones are going to throw them out. Grab them, rinse them, plant in them. Don't send them to the trash, to the dump. Do something with them. Send them to the dump when they fall apart. But in the beginning, we should be able to grow in them. So I hope you're getting some stuff here from me and ideas, tips and tricks. And I hope this really helps you. And if not, well, I'm trying. So with that, I'm going back to work because I have been working. As you can see, I'm potting up seeds. I'm growing seeds in all different ways. And I am trying to get some stuff done and get more food growing around here. And remember, anything you grow that you don't want or doesn't look good, don't worry about it. It makes free soil. Just keep going. So with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow, right? Bye-bye, everybody.